Hi, my name is Andrew Nickus, and I'm wondering if you had one more day with Charlie, what would you do with him?
Well, it's kind of interesting because, in effect, I did have one more day. I mean, it wasn't a full day or anything, but we always lived in a way where we were happy with what we were doing every day. I mean, Charlie liked learning. He liked, as I mentioned in the movie, he liked wide variety of things. So he was much broader than I was, but I didn't have any great desire to be as broad as he was, and he didn't have any great desire to be as narrow as I. But we had a lot of fun doing anything, and we played golf together, we played tennis together, we did everything together, and this you may find kind of interesting. We had as much fun, perhaps even more to some extent, with things that failed, because then we really had to work our way out of them, and in a sense there's more fun having somebody that's your partner in digging your way out of a foxhole than there is just sitting there and watching an idea that you got 10 years ago just continually produce more and more profit. So it wasn't, he really fooled me, though. He went to 99.9 years. I mean, if you had picked two guys, he publicly said he never did a day of exercise except where it was required when he was in the Army. So he never did a day of voluntary exercise. He never thought about what he ate. We started every day, and Charlie he was interested in more things than I was, but we never had any doubts about the other person, period. And so if I'd had another day with him, we'd probably have done the same thing we were doing the earlier days, and we wouldn't have wanted to know that we only had one day. There's a great advantage in not knowing what day you're going to die. Charlie always said, that just tell me where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there. Well, the truth is, he went everywhere with his mind, and therefore he was not only interested in the world at 99, but the world was interested in him. It's remarkable. I told him in the last few years, I'd never seen anybody that was peaking, at 99 and where the world wanted to come and see him. I mean, they actually wanted to go out to 351 North June Street, and whether it was, well, I could name a whole bunch of names, but I'll start with Elon Musk, but go down the list, and they all wanted to meet Charlie, and Charlie was happy to talk with them. And the only person I could think of otherwise was the Dalai Lama. I don't know that they had a lot else in common, but he lived his life the way he wanted to, and he got to say what he wanted to say. He, like I, loved having a podium, and again, I can't remember any time that he was mad at me or I was mad at him. It just didn't happen. And calling him was fun back when long-distance rates were high, and we didn't talk as often as in recent years as we used to be on daily for long periods. And we did keep learning, and we liked learning together. But we tended to be a little smarter because as the years went by, because we had mistakes and we had other things where we learned something, And the fact that he and I were on the same wavelength in that respect meant that the world was still a very interesting place to us when he got to be 99 and I got to be 93. So I don't have a perfect answer for you there, but I can tell you the ingredients that would go into. Sometimes people would say to me or Charlie at one of these meetings, you know, if you could only have lunch with one person that lived over the last 2,000 or so years, you know, who would you want to have it with? Charlie says, I've already met all of them, you know, because he read all the books. I mean, and he eliminated all the trouble of going to restaurants to meet him or anything like that. He just went through a book, and he met Ben Franklin, and he really he was remarkable. He said he really had no one else to meet because he'd read all their stuff, and he liked Ben Franklin's stuff better than he liked mine. But Franklin, he just had to read about it. They didn't have to go have lunch with him or anything of the sort. It's an interesting question. What you should probably ask yourself is that who do you feel that you'd want to start spending the last day of your life with, and then figure out a way to start meeting them or tomorrow, and meet them as often as you can. Because why wait till the last day? And don't bother with the others.